or something. That's one of the few things that can really just rip the turret right off a German heavy tank. And even if it doesn't hit, the amount of spalling that thing is going to create on a tank is just ridiculous. And for those of you who don't know what spalling is, that's a technical term there. Um, when a shell hits, and in particular, like a very large shell hits a tank and it doesn't have enough power to penetrate, it will still, like, obviously the force of that shell will be tremendous, and when it hits, it's gonna like send shock waves through the armor. So the armor itself is gonna get weakened severely by that shell, and also on the inside of the armor, like the shock wave will just send like parts of like um, the armored plating just like inwards, and all the stuff inside the tank is going to get, thrown around. So basically there will be all this shrapnel from the armor of the tank just like flying inwards because of the force of that shell, and that will just like, take the head off of a crew member. So that's what spalling is, and that basically renders the tank useless because the armor just kind of gets like not penetrated but crippled. Oh, that was not smart. See, that's the crappy AI there. I It turned because there was a dude over there. It just turned. It decided to turn. I didn't tell it to turn. It just turned, and then yeah, my trank got took out, and there's a KV-85 over there shooting at me, and I don't think my Tiger can hit him. Unless I'm actually, yeah, I'm just gonna move him up and see if I can hit that thing, because I really don't want to lose my Yag Panther. That would not be good. So I'm gonna move up my Tiger a little bit. I'm going to move him up to here, and what's going on over here? I see something. There is a D1 howitzer over there, which I think is just like one of the best artillery pieces in the game. I find it to be incredibly accurate, but that's just me. I'm always like talking about how good the stuff on the opponent's side is. Um, I mean, it's interesting when you're playing, the stuff that your opponent has always seems so much better than when you're using it. So I could be using an ISU 152 and be like, oh, I keep missing. But when I face the Russians, I'm always like, oh, it always hits. It's so accurate. It's just, it has something to do with perception, I guess. It all probably has something to do with direct control too, because direct control is like, a lot of people say that's how you win a game, just by using direct control, because that makes up for the AI. But sometimes direct control like misses too. It's not always that accurate. And my ally is saying how this is a boring game, which I mean, I don't think that's really fair. I don't think it's that. It was a decent game. Like so far, this game has been pretty good, I think. I mean, yeah, it has been a little bit slow, and our opponents are kind of, not noobs, but they're just kind of meh. I mean, they've been making some mistakes, and I don't know, they haven't been playing that well, and I guess we've been playing a lot better, I guess. I mean, I've been playing pretty conservatively. Um, let's see. Oh, and this thing's track is repaired now, and he's engaging that IS-3 over there, and then there's no way in hell that I'm gonna like stand in a firefight against one of those things. But what I can do is bring up my Yag Panther, and then I can get a nice flank shot off of him. And oh man, that doesn't even kill him either. That's annoying. So I gotta get close up there. I mean, this thing is beast armor. Like the IS-3, that's just like whew. When the Allies saw this in the Berlin Victory Parade, I mean, it didn't participate in. Oh man, yeah, that was kind of foolish. I shouldn't have moved him up. He was so exposed there, but I really wanted to kill that thing. Yeah, the IS-3 didn't participate in World War II, but they did get a couple of them out in time to participate in the Berlin Victory Parade. And when the Allies saw those things, and they were just like, they were scared, because that's like one beast of a tank. And oh yeah, completely forgot that I had this excuse me, captured a T-34 57 back here, and I guess it's time to send him forward now. Um, I haven't been using him. I was just kind of holding him in reserve, and there goes my Tiger, which was to be expected because he's getting shot at by, several different things. There's an SU-100 over there, which is a fairly good Russian TD. I mean, out of all the guns, the Russian guns that saw service during World War II, the Russian 100 millimeter gun was certainly the best in terms of penetrating power. And I didn't get off the first shot there, so he took out my turret. So that kind of sucks. I've lost a number of tanks now. well, 2 tanks and 1 TD to my, I don't know, not carelessness, but I don't know, I wasn't being very tactical. Let's see. So now I guess I'm gonna bring up a King Tiger because I don't know. I could, I suppose, beat my opponents by like sneaking up infantry, but that's kind of a hassle because I've got I got some Luftwaffe troops, and they've got Panzer Schrecks or Panzer Fausts, and those are pretty good for taking out enemy armor if you can get close enough. But I expect my opponents to have a fair bit of infantry, so I'm not gonna engage in a big infantry battle just so I can get close enough. I mean, that's one of those things. I mean, people always say that infantry is really good because, yes, infantry are completely capable of taking out even the heaviest tanks as long as they have like a rocket launcher or even anti-tank grenades. Um, you can take out enemy tanks of the heaviest variety with um, anti-tank grenades and rocket launchers. But that's only in the defensive role because offensively, you need armor. Like, armor is an offensive weapon, and of course it can act defensively, but it's more of a offensive weapon, and like rocket launchers and all that stuff, those are just completely useless when in the offensive, really. I mean, well, not useless, but they're really hard to use, because if you're trying to take an enemy position, then you've got to do that, but at the same time, there's enemy armor, and you want to take that out too, so it's just hard. Like, it's better in the defensive for obvious reasons. I mean, you can hide behind a wall, and when the enemy tank comes close, then you can just blast them. While in the offensive, then you have to, like, fight your way through enemy infantry and then get close, and that doesn't really work because your opponent can see you coming all at the same time. And tank commando. Yeah, we've got 3 King Tigers here. That's pretty funny. I'm just gonna put mine in the middle. King Tiger party. Oh, and he's got a King Tiger. What on earth is this? This is crashing right now for some reason. So, yeah, well, the game's almost over anyway. You can see up in the top there, 10:67. So we're going to win in like 2 minutes anyway. So I guess it's fine that this game is crashing. I'm going to have to look into this. I don't know why it's crashing, but it is. So anyway, thanks for watching this battle, and I will see you guys sometime in January, I guess, with my next